Self-care is a buzz term these days, and many may agree it's needed now more than ever. Our next guest says 80% of Americans say they intend on practicing self-care, but a much smaller percentage actually do. Well-being strategist and author Toy Penny is also creator of the Love You More method, and she's here to explain true self-care that goes beyond the tasks and also requires strategy and accountability. Hello, Toy.
Hi, Aubrey. How are you?
Good morning. So I want to hear about this because when you say people intend to do it, but maybe they're actually not able to do the execution part, I think that's really important to recognize. And moving beyond self-care, that's pretty interesting too. So how do we even start to do that?
Yeah, so a lot of us are really focusing on the tactics of self-care, more like spas and pedicures and manicures and walks. And while those are all good, we want to be able to move beyond self-care because we're still suffering with addictions, mental load, overeating, all of those things. We're still suffering with a lot of things that the self-care tactics that you do, they don't really solve the problem. So we need to get beyond the surface level of the self-care tactics.
Well, September is actually a month dedicated to self-care. So let's talk about how do we make the most of our self-care starting this month.
Yeah, so I call it the Love You More method, and I have separated your well-being actually into two separate parts, your primary nourishments and your secondary nourishments. Your primary nourishments are things like your mental and emotional peace, relationships that nurture your soul, never-ending self-investments, quality sleep, empowering physical activities, and a thriving career. Your secondary nourishments are your food that you actually eat and put in your mouth. And so if you are overeating on your primary nourishments, then you tend to undereat on your secondary nourishments and vice versa.
Toy, when we engage in self-care, is it just for ourselves or can the effects be far-reaching to the other people in our lives?
No, I truly believe that it should all begin with you so that we can model this behavior for generations to come. And a lot of us, when we are focusing on self-care, it's mainly about ourselves. And so I believe that once you are full, your fullness will overflow into everyone else.
I agree that you kind of start that energy and it'll be infectious. And we also talked about accountability, love and support. Those are all part of the journey as well.
Yes, accountability. A lot of us, everyone has busy lives. We're leading busy lives. We are, homeschooling our children. We're doing so many things. And so it is, it is a lot on us. And so we want to be sure that we have the accountability and the love and support that we need. And a lot of us, like I said, are really busy. And so the love, the support, the accountability, you must have that in order to truly follow through with your self-care acts.
And Toy, when's a good time to start on doing a little bit more of the self-care and the self-love?
Now, ASAP.
All right. Well, that's
We
a
need
great
to start
message.
it now.
Yes, in September
Yes.
being Self-Care Awareness Month, a great time. Appreciate you coming on the show today. If you want more on self-love advice, you can check out toypenny.com.